Okay, so Sean Strickland, who is somebody that I used to train with, I actually put money on Sean a couple weeks back when he fought Hamzat. So that day that everybody references when they sparred each other, I actually sparred both guys that day. I sparred Hamzat and Sean Strickland, and so I had a feeling that Sean's defensive wrestling, based on what I've seen, based on the time I've spent training with him, I had a feeling that Sean's defensive wrestling was better than Hamzat's ability to keep him down. Sean will literally go train an hour and a half for just getting up. We used to do these practices at Couture that Sean would basically run, which was it was like 3 positions for 20 minutes, and then you would do a 20-minute, you would do 1 minute goes each position. It was the most interesting thing. That's the best way I can put it right now, is the most interesting way to train. One guy's on top, one guy's on bottom. Guy on bottom has to get up to his feet. Not even escape, just to his feet. The other guy has to try to keep him down. One guy's on his back, the other guy has to try to get to the wall. One guy's got a leg, the other guy has to try to get his leg out. One guy's standing on the wall, the other guy has to try to get out. It just, the entire progression of being on the ground in a stand-up, but not from point A to point C, but from point A to point B, which is, I'm on my back, I need a base out, I need to get up, I need to get hands on this guy, and then stop. Okay, I'm on my base, I need to get up to my feet, and then stop. Okay, I'm on my feet, I need to get out of this guy's lock and face him without getting kicked in the head. Okay, stop. Very interesting, right? And Sean would do this, and he continues to do it from what I understand. I don't train at Couture anymore, I just do jiu-jitsu, but he would do this, and so I just knew that it's not the best training for everybody, but for Sean it works. And most people, when they get underneath Hamzat, tend to fold and break, and they don't have a plan B, a plan C, a plan, D, all the way out to Z, right? Well, Sean does, because he trains it in every progression. So I knew that going in, that, okay, this is going to be an interesting fight. So we got UFC 329 going on this weekend, which I'm very excited about. Now, how do I tie all this in? I don't know. I don't know how I'm tying all this in, but I'm somehow, some way, I'm going to bring Bud Light into this video, and it's going to make sense. Maybe not in the beginning, maybe not in the middle, but somewhere in the end. All that to say, Sean Strickland makes a video about Bud Light. Dustin Poirier, you guys probably saw it. Dustin gets in this jam, right? Again, I just said a bunch of stuff, all that to tie into what Sean did with this Bud Light situation. I don't know how it's relevant. Maybe in another video I'll explain it, but I just want to tell that story mostly because I won some money on Sean, and most people did not think that Sean was going to win that fight. And then I did not bet on Gaethje, but I told people to put money on Gaethje, so I'm going to put money this weekend, and I'm going to test my hand. I think I've got the magic touch, and maybe in a later video, you guys comment below. Maybe I'll post a video tomorrow, let you know what I think, or today, after this one's posted. But anyway, Sean makes a video about Bud Light, and I don't agree with everything Sean does or says. Oh, that was the deal. That was the deal. That's how I connected it. I got it. Because I didn't agree with that way of training. It didn't make any sense to me. I didn't understand it. But when I saw Sean do what he did, I understood it for him. It made sense why he did that and implemented it. So anyway, Sean makes a video. And again, I don't agree with everything Sean says. I don't agree with a lot of things Sean says. I don't agree with most things Sean says. But he makes a video about Bud Light. You see Dustin Poirier get in this jam. And, the airport situation, right? We don't have to hash it out. And again, I'm reluctant to even give Sean his flowers with things like this, with what he says, right? The way he trains, absolutely. But what he says, but he made an unbelievable point. Talked about Bud Light, talked about his upbringing. Said, hey, this stuff, I've never seen the party scene. I've never seen the hot chicks in bikinis. I've never seen the people on the boat having fun. I've seen the other side. I've seen the dad that comes home and beats up his kids and hits his wife. I've got friends that have seen that. I've got people that have gone into depression and they can't get drugs from a pharmaceutical or from a doctor or a pharmacy, but they can go and buy as many of these as they want. I've seen that side of it. And a man who's sponsored by this put on display the full effects of what happens when people, more often than not, drink this stuff to excess. Not the partying, not the glamour, not all those things that they want you to believe, but he truly had an experience that all of us are all too familiar with, which is he got drunk, wasn't capable of boarding an airplane, wasn't capable of conducting himself in an appropriate way. And I thought Sean made a really good point, which was, hey, this guy took your product. This guy is showing what we all know this product can do to people, and you're going to fire him for that? Now, again, listen, whatever Bud Light decides to do, that's on them, right? But Dustin Poirier stuck with them, and I know enough about Dustin to know that he's not down with the trans movement. I know enough about Dustin to know that he probably was a little bit upset with what the Dylan Mulvaney situation led to. And I know he probably was a little bit, hey, yeah, I'm not going to drink this stuff. And somehow, some way, he stayed with him. Somehow, some way, he became one of the faces of a brand that did everything it could to shoot itself in the foot with that advertising and marketing, with that Dylan Mulvaney thing. And to tell its drinkers and people, no, get out of here. We don't care about what you have to say. And Dustin Poirier was still there. And he decided, hey, this is a brand I want to stick with. And again, I'm not a beer drinker. I don't like beer. I don't like the taste of Bud Light. It's not my thing, right? But I have seen that side of it. I have seen that side of how people can act. And the party stuff has a very short window. It's about, depending on the person, it's not more than a couple beers before they start going downhill. I thought it was a very good point. I thought it was a very articulate point by Sean. I thought, yeah, what a scumbag thing to do to employ somebody that sticks with you, that gave you an opportunity when you were in the mud, when you did something stupid, when you made a mistake. You course corrected, UFC takes you in, and then you go fire a guy because he takes your product and makes some mistakes. I don't know.